What's up, guys? It is your favorite backwards raccoon, and I am so glad to see you guys again. And I don't know about you, but this week has just been one of those weeks for me that makes me question if I'm good enough. And I have to be honest with you, though. This isn't the first time in my life that I felt that I'm not good enough. It's not the first time in my life that I've looked at other people and wished that I was as good as they are at whatever they're doing. And when I was your age, I used to wish that I had a better family. I used to wish that I was better at baseball. I used to always think to myself that I will never be good enough. That everything I had to offer wasn't useful. Have you ever felt that way? About school or family or friends or even your relationship with Jesus? The truth is that I spent way too much time as a kid trying to live up to everyone else that I didn't get a chance to learn who I was. I didn't spend time learning who it was that God made me to be. And the truth is that we're not all meant to be the same. We're all unique and different from each other in some way. And even twins have things that are different between them. So how great is it to know that we're all different? We all have different likes, dislikes, hobbies, smiles, fingerprints, goals, passions, strengths, weaknesses, and the list goes on and on, but you get my point. So why do we compare ourselves to the people around us? Why do we feel like we should be able to do everything the person next to us can do and more? If I would have realized when I was your age or even younger, I could know so much more about myself. I could be that much better at the things that I'm good at. I wouldn't have spent so much time trying to be better at the things that I suck doing. We know that everyone in our church is different, but we're all striving for the same thing, to glorify God. Anytime I think about different people working together towards a common goal, I always think of sports. And I'm not like a super huge sports fanatic who's always watching some sport or keeping up with all the players' stats, but I do know one thing. The majority of sports consist of people playing different positions, all working towards the same goal. Baseball, for example, has 9 different positions on the field. A catcher, a pitcher, 4 infielders, and 3 outfielders. All have their own special part that they play in the game. And pitchers, of course, throw the ball to the catcher while a batter tries to hit the ball. And every infielder is spread out so that they don't let a ball get past them. And they also cover the bases when needed. The outfielders usually have the best arms on the team, and they're out there to get any ball hit past the infield. Each player trains for what it is that they are supposed to do, trying to be the best at their position. So wouldn't it be pointless for an outfielder to practice like a catcher? I mean, almost nothing they do is related to one another. It would also be pointless for a catcher to look at shortstop and say, hey, I wish that I could stand between second and third base like him. A catcher couldn't play his position from there. It's 9 different positions come together to make up a baseball team. And a good baseball team has 9 players who are really good at their position. No one ever expects someone to be able to play every single position on the field. Now let's look at it a little differently. Every one of us is good at something, whether it be video games, making friends, making videos, volleyball, running, sitting on the couch forever, watching movies, or just a multitude of other things. Why don't we focus on the things that we're good at? Why do we have to look at everyone else and compare their strengths to our weaknesses? Like I said earlier, we are all different. And instead of using that to our advantage, we let it drag us down and beat us up. So if you're spending your time trying to be like someone else or trying to impress other people like I was, you're only wasting your time. And just like in sports, we need different people who are good at different things to work together to accomplish a goal. We just weren't designed to be like everyone around us. Paul says it this way in 1 Corinthians 12 through 14. Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ. For we were all baptized by one Spirit so as to form one body, whether Jews or Gentiles, slave or free, and we were all given the one Spirit to drink. Even so, the body is not made up of one part, but many. We are all one body, guys, but each of us is a part of the body and has our own roles. Just a few verses before this, Paul says, "To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom, to another a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by that one Spirit, to another miraculous powers, to another prophecy, to another distinguishing between spirits, to another speaking in different kinds of tongues, and to still another the interpretation of tongues. All these are the work of one and the same Spirit, and he distributes them to each one as he determines." So if Paul was still alive today, maybe he would say it like this: "Look, guys, we're all one body. You may be a hand, a foot, or even an eye, but we're all a part of the same body. We're on the same team." Can you imagine what it would be like to not have different parts of your body? I mean, it would make some tasks extremely hard. If you didn't have eyes to see, you may be able to learn how to walk, but you can't drive. If you didn't have a foot, without prosthetics, you would have a hard time walking around. Our bodies are designed the way they are for a reason, and they work really well. When you take a part of the body away, you still may be able to accomplish your everyday goals, but it would be nothing like having the body all in one piece. And that's why we need all of you. The church needs all kinds of different people so that they can operate at their full potential. We need every part of our body. Some of you are hands and feet, or eyes, or ears, or noses, and some of you are just big toes. But we need every single one of our body parts to be the most functional body. People like being around people who they have things in common with. And when we have all different types of people in our church, that leaves room for a lot more people to join us because they want to be around us. And by being around us, they get to experience the God that we serve and the joy that he gives us. So the things that I was going through at your age used to make me feel like I was worthless, like everyone was better than me, that I had to fake being okay so that no one thought less of me. That's not the truth at all. See, I shouldn't have been comparing myself to different people. I wish someone would have told me that. We don't have to be good at everything. But you know what? God still allowed me to go through those things. And now I get to share those with you. Because of the hurt that I experienced, I can relate to some of you more. See, I can relate to people who don't know one of their parents, people whose parents are divorced, and people whose parents treated them like garbage. And you know what? All that hurt, all that pain, and I'd still go through it again. Because I've seen God use my story over and over. My experiences make me who I am and have given me a part in the body. We all have a part to play in the body. So don't waste your time wanting to be the foot when you're the hand. You have a role that God has given you, and you get to choose how you use it. Will it be for his glory with the body of the church or against the body? I know today's lesson was a little deep, but I want you to know that God made you who you are. Don't spend too long wishing that you were some other part of the body when you have a part to play. The things that you are good at can be used for the body. You can improve the church. You can be that friend that leads someone to Christ. You can be the one that make a video that shows millions the love of God. You can be the person who makes a difference in one life. You can be a person who changes the world. You can be a part of one body made up of millions of different people, doing your small part in a big plan. When we learn to accept our role in the body, God can use us so much more. Let's go out this week and do our part and help the body.